Warning: Tsukihime is an adult visual novel with themes and depictions of sex, sexual violence, rape, gore, and abuse. Warnings will be placed before any of these pop up in the video, just be advised that these themes are in the story. Hello, and welcome back to Tsukihime. Last time, things were all sorts of censored, as Hisui managed to help Shiki gain a little bit of energy. Later, Shiki watched in a daze as Akiha drank some of Kohaku's blood while seemingly discussing the idea of killing him. With immense fear, Shiki fled back to his room and locked the door. After trying and failing to get him to unlock it, Akiha told him that she'll let him stay there for the night, but she will return the next day. And so, we start chapter 13, Golden Cocoon, stuck in Shiki's room as the sound of continuous knocking can be heard. A terrible silence. I can't even hear the wheezing of my breath. More knocks. My body doesn't even twitch or move at all. My mind is completely stopped as well. I bet if I look at myself in the mirror, I would look like a puppet with its strings cut. Knock. Shiki has to focus entirely on breathing, or else he won't be able to. The night was not kind to him, as his body wastes away. He can't see much, and even the air seems to bring pain. After another barrage of knocking, instead of more knocking, he hears a voice from the door. Shiki-sama, are you awake? Hisui's voice. How many times is this? Hisui really doesn't grow tired of this at all. You are awake, are you not? If that is the case, then please at least eat. No, I won't eat any of what you give me. I won't eat anything. I can't trust anything that comes from this house. Food, water, medicine. It seems like everything is a poison to kill me. Shiki-sama, I will place your food here. After I leave, please open the door and eat it. Hisui's presence recedes. I bang my head against the wall. How many times have I ignored Hisui like this? Hisui is different from Akiha and Kohaku-san. Maybe Hisui is not trying to kill me. But that is just a fantasy. Hisui tried to lock me in this room. Like right now, she came to my room to look after me, keeping me trapped in this room. This is no good. I know my thoughts are just paranoia, but my mind won't return to normal. As more knocking ensues, Shiki can only think of three things: the pain enveloping his body, the thirst in his throat, and the need to keep the door locked. Some time passes, and another string of knocking begins, which concludes with a voice. Shiki-sama, your food has gotten cold. Her voice sounds sad. Akiha-sama and Nisan have gone out and will not return today. We are the only ones in the mansion right now. Does she want to tell me to come out? Shut up. I told you to leave me alone. Why can't you understand that, Hisui? I hear a gasp. Her presence recedes. Yet again, the knocking continues. Her presence recedes. We repeat this cycle countless times. Pain. The hunger is nothing. But thirst is killing my burning body. Just what am I doing? Lying crumbled against the wall, hugging my broken body. The closed window, the locked door. Come to think of it, a long time ago. It feels like something like this happened before, too. That was... How long ago was that? When I was just a small kid, taken to new surroundings and not being used to new people, I locked myself up in my room. I hated everything and I didn't want to talk to anyone. During that time, there was a girl that always knocked on the door. Knock knock was the sound. Every time I would ask who it was, the voice would always respond, "It's me." Shiki-chan, let's play. You'll get moldy if you stay in one place like that. I tell her it's none of her business and make her go away day after day. The knocking sound again. Her presence draws away. That girl came every day. She would always knock, not getting tired of doing so. She would never force me out, but continued to call my name without opening the door. Why won't you come outside? I can't go outside. Everyone in the mansion, they all see me as an enemy. That's not true. Everyone wants to like you, Shiki-chan. But I can't believe her. My own father believed that, and was killed by Tono Makihisa. I see. No wonder you can't believe anyone. That's right. So it's easier for me to be alone. But you will just be yourself all the time. Being by yourself is no fun. I don't care. This is better than getting killed. Better than being tricked. It's better to be alone and trick myself instead of dying. Jeez, I understand. Wait, what? Jeez, I understand. So you can do something, me. Then you can come outside, right? Her words then. I can't remember exactly what they were. With her voice, the girl said I could do what? Knock, knock. Hisui really doesn't tire of this. Her surprising endurance reminds me of that childhood memory. Huh? I don't hear her footsteps. She doesn't seem to have walked away. Hisui? There is nothing but silence on the other side of the door. Hisui is just standing quietly on the other side. Time passes. Hisui's presence doesn't move. All she does is wait by the door. Why will you not come outside, Shiki-sama? That's obvious. Since I can't believe anyone anymore, I'm being by myself. Neither Akiha nor Kohaku, not even I, can be trusted. So I can't do anything but lock myself away. Yeah, I finally realized it. The thing with Akiha might really be a trivial thing. I am trying to be alone so that I can lock myself up, as I might be the killer. No one? Are you saying you can believe in no one, Shiki-sama? That's right. Therefore, there is no reason for her to worry about me. It's wrong for her to worry that much about me, the one wanting human blood, the one who violated her body so roughly. Hisui, just go away. It's easier for me to be myself, or be by myself. This way, I won't be a burden to anyone. That is a lie. That is not fun at all. Shiki-sama, you are telling a lie. Her voice actually sounds a little angry. Shiki-sama, if you say you cannot believe in anyone, please believe in me. So please, listen to me for just now. Her voice, she sounds like she is crying. She must be really angry as she's not making any sense. You can believe in me? That's backwards. Normally I have to say, I believe in you. Jeez, that's just absurd. I thought the only one who'd make that kind of ridiculous argument was that one girl. Believe in what? I do not know. I just know that I like you, Shiki-sama, which is why I am calling to you like this. Thud. She knocks louder than ever before. Shiki-sama, please, open the door. I know I am powerless, but I do know that it will be better than being by yourself. She sounds like she's crying. The tone is different, but it feels similar to what that girl told me back then. Will you resist again? Shiki-sama, you are really in danger like this. Why are you acting like back then? You promised that when you came back, you would play with everyone. So why? The crying voice of a young girl. I start to remember a little. That's right. Back then, before I was taken to the hospital, I made that small promise. I thought that I would go back to the mansion when I healed, so I just said it without thinking too much. Shiki-sama, I do not want to lose you right before my eyes, just like before. So please open the door, Shiki. The pounding against the door stops. It seems Hisui has crumbled to the ground in tears. That girl, who would call to me day after day. That energetic, worrying girl that was always by my side. Just who was she? Hisui. Even though I shouldn't have any strength left, I somehow managed to stand. Every time I move, I feel like fainting. But the pain is of no concern right now. Hisui. I drag myself to the door and place my hand on the lock. You! My numb fingers don't move as I tell them to, and the lock is difficult to turn. The lock finally clinks loose. The door opens. In front of me, I see the figure of Hisui. Shiki-sama, you look terrible. With tears still streaming down her face, Hisui stares at me. Aww. But I don't care about my body right now. More than that, Hisui, are you that girl? Hisui doesn't answer. Her silence isn't disagreement, but agreement. Why? I thought she was Kohaku-san. You even told me yesterday that you were the child in the mansion. Shiki-sama, that was not me. I think Nissan was helping you out since you were so weak. Huh? In other words, the Hisui that I saw yesterday was really Kohaku-san? I fucking knew it. Okay. I hope to God that when I thought it, I definitely said it. But just some of the mannerisms she had and a few of the face changes there threw me too off. I can't believe that. Then, Hisui, you're the one that played with us even when we were kids? And Kohaku-san is the one who was always in the mansion. Why? I don't understand. Just why are the two of you acting like you traded places? We never intended to deceive you. I think I became calmer after you were adopted by the Arima family. Nissan tried to cheer me up by acting very happy, and then we gradually traded our roles. But why? Why did it happen? Hisui, you were always so energetic. That is not true. I am naturally not active, but when you were there, I tried to follow you as hard as I could. But I never should have done that. Since I took you out into the garden, you had the accident. All I could do was watch in fear as you were killed before my eyes. All I could do was stare at your blood-soaked body. I couldn't even cry or call for help. Since that time, I was unable to understand myself. No matter how I tried, I could not remember how I acted or how I smiled. When you were dying, I could not do anything. I could only watch. It was as if I was just a doll. So I thought that maybe it would be better if I was just a doll. Maybe I put a curse on myself. Before I knew it, I became silent, just like Nissan. Nissan took my place, doing the work I could not do, smiling because I could not. Wait, Hisui, what you're saying I don't really understand is what I wanted to say. What do you mean I almost died? You know about the accident 8 years ago? Yes. You were not injured from a traffic accident. In the courtyard of the mansion, you were killed. What? That's not right. I'm the one who did the killing. Because I was the one looking down at that bloodstained body. I start feeling lightheaded. All the strength drains from my legs and I start to fall. Shiki-sama, please, hold on. In that instant, Hisui wraps her arms around me to prevent me from falling. Her voice and mine overlap. Hisui stands there, desperately holding on to me. We look like we're embracing each other, and Hisui stands there trembling. Hisui, I understand. I understand that she doesn't like to come into contact with men. Even now, her body is trembling all over. Hisui. Still, I can't let go. I wrap my arms around her. Her warmth, her soft body. Since we were children, the girl has always looked after me. Yeah, there can be no more doubt. Hisui, finally we meet again. With my weak body, I embrace her close to me. Shiki-sama. Her shaking doesn't stop, but she does not refuse me and wraps her arms around my back. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm apologizing for. I just feel like there's so many things I have to apologize to her for. Not at all. You do not need to apologize for anything, Shiki-sama. Answering quietly, she takes me to my bed. I rest in my bed. My body relaxes a little bit, the bed being much more comfortable than the floor. Hisui covers me with a clean sheet and brings a glass of water. Shiki-sama, are you able to drink by yourself? Yeah, I think I can manage that. Taking the glass from Hisui, I drink my first glass of water in a day. The water quenches my thirst. The water seems to fill me completely, up to my fingertips. I give the glass back to Hisui, and I fall down onto the bed. Shiki-sama! No, that's not it. I actually feel good. I was just relaxing. My health actually seems better. Shiki-sama, do not scare me like that. It would not be very surprising if you really did collapse in your condition. Hisui looks at me with uneasiness in her eyes. That look makes me want to thank her, and also makes me feel regret. Shiki-sama? Does it hurt anywhere? If you are in pain, please do not hesitate to tell me. No, nothing really hurts right now. Well, my heart hurts. Hisui is worrying about me right now, just like always. All I've done in return to her is to act stupidly. Not even realizing her absolute devotion, all I've done is bring pain to her heart. And that time, when I did those terrible things to Hisui, even though it turned out to actually be Kohaku-san, I still did them to Hisui. And that's not all. I dreamt about killing people, and in accordance with that, I dreamt about violating Hisui. I do not deserve to be cared for by Hisui. Shiki-sama, was the water not pleasing to you? I shake my head no. That's not it. Thanks for everything, Hisui. I never even thought that drinking water could help me this much. But that's enough. I don't deserve to be treated this well by you. Shiki-sama, are you still saying that? I just want to help you. It doesn't matter if you deserve it or not. No, Hisui, that's not you. Yeah, I'm the one at fault here. Hisui gives me nothing but devotion, but I repay her with cruelty. If you are here with me, I probably do something horrible again. So before I do anything, please leave. I beg you. I don't want to hurt you anymore, Hisui. Hisui doesn't say anything, but she has to understand what I'm saying. After several seconds of silence, it appears she understands as she raises her head and nods. I refuse. Yeah, I'm sorry it had to be this way, but wait a minute. Hisui, what did you just say? I said I refuse. Those words are not enough, and I cannot leave you alone. Until you can give me a valid reason, I will not follow your command. Hisui responds clearly. Please tell me the reason, Shiki-sama. Unless you do, I will not move one step. What? Her eyes are dead serious. I bet she could tell if I'm telling a lie or an excuse, and more than anything, I don't want to lie to her. I get it. So if I tell you the reason, you'll go away? Yes. If it is something that can convince me, then I will fulfill your command. I take a deep breath. Mentally prepared, I open my mouth. Hisui, I see dreams where I kill people. Every night, I dream that I kill someone I don't know and drink their blood. You see dreams? Is that supposed to be your reason, Shiki-sama? No, the thing is, I can't tell if they're dreams or not. Maybe it's that I don't notice, but I might be killing people in reality. Just like the old man. There might be another self in me I don't know about, walking the streets killing people. Shiki-sama, that is impossible. You're acting like the normal Shiki-sama right now. Right now I am, but sometimes I get these strange thoughts. The dreams I see, they may simply be my memories. And truthfully, I did kill someone 8 years ago. I actually have the memory of looking down on that bloodstained kid. Shiki-sama, please get a hold of yourself. Thinking that you are a blood-sucking monster is surely too strange. Yeah, it's strange, but I can't laugh it off. Hisui, you don't know it, but I guess those of the Tono family are different from normal people. The old man had split personalities, and even Akiha was sucking Kohaku-san's blood. Anyway, the people of the Tono family are not normal, so I'm not normal either. I can't stop myself from lusting after you and Kohaku-san. It's all right now, but if I get that headache again, for sure, I will do something terrible to you, Hisui. Shiki-sama, Nissan and I have known all of that from the very beginning. Huh? You knew? Knew what? That people of the Tono are not normal. No, in other words, you were the only one that did not know. Nissan and I have known that since we were first brought to this mansion. What? But do not think that is anything strange. Nissan and I, we also carry a power that is not normal. It was because of that power that Makihisa-sama brought us here. Regarding the Tono family, we know much more than you, Shiki-sama. Certainly, you can call the Tono blood abnormal, but Shiki-sama, that has nothing to do with you. You do not have a split personality like Makihisa-sama, nor are you a vampire that sucks human blood. Shiki-sama, you are rather someone closer to Nissan and I. I'm closer to you? Yes, you are definitely not a killer. Please, just trust me for now and let me take care of you. No, it still doesn't make a difference to the fact that, I still want you. If you remain here, I'll do something I can't take back. About this problem, will you allow me to ask a question? Huh? Yeah, I don't mind. Shiki-sama, do you not like Nissan and I? Huh? Hisui asks something totally absurd and she starts fidgeting with her fingers. Do I not like Hisui and Kohaku-san? Nothing could be further from the truth. Now look, there's no way I could ever not like either of you. I'm always thankful to Kohaku-san and to you too. I'm always thinking about how thankful I am to you. She lets out a breath that she was holding. Hisui visibly relaxes for some reason. Then there is no problem. Your condition has put you under a lot of stress. This caused things in your mind to come up into your dreams. That means your thoughts are your true feelings. So it is not odd to feel that way if you have any liking towards us. That's true, but even still, it's strange to lust after the both of you like this. Yes, it is a bit dangerous, but Shiki-sama, you have always endured it, right? Then it will not be a problem. You say that you are dangerous, but you are a stronger person than that. If you have held out for this long, then you can still do so, right? Besides, it is your own will, so in no way do you have a split personality. Well, that theory might be right, but it isn't that simple. But just seeing that trusting smile, I feel like I have to hold on no matter what. Alright, if you say so, then you can be close by me. I will try to hold myself in check as much as possible. No, that is not exactly what I meant. Hisui blushes and looks down. I don't get it. Hisui just looks up at me from time to time with a difficult expression. Hisui? Did I say something weird? Hisui just stares at me. Huh? I start to feel very uncomfortable. My heart beats faster under the tension. I'm dropping a save. Oh fuck, I did not mean to skip that. Well, you know what they say, I gotta reload. My heart beats faster under tension. I feel uneasy, like I got caught with something and I'm about to get yelled at for it. Okay, now I'm gonna actually drop this save, because I'm a bit nervous about where this is gonna go. Thump, 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 thump. Crap! I start to feel a little dizzy, probably because I'm nervous. Ugh. My consciousness starts to flutter. I forgot all about it, but my body isn't in the condition to keep talking. I feel like throwing up every time my heart pounds. Hisui, I hate to do this to her, but maybe it's better if I just sleep right now. Shiki-sama? Are you suffering? Just a little bit. But it's not serious. You don't have to worry about it. No. At this rate, you will surely die. Nissan said that you may not last until evening. What? I feel a chill as I hear that. It's not like I haven't thought about it, when this body did not heal. I've imagined many times that my weakening body will only end in death. But still, to hear it from someone else like that sends a chill up my spine. I don't know what to say. Should I just accept it? Should I deny it? I can't do either. I have felt that my body would die pretty soon, but it just doesn't feel real. It's like I'm just watching the life of some sick person on some sort of television show, or in some kind of visual novel. Akiha-sama and Nissan left in order to save you, but they may not make it in time. Even if they are successful, if your body runs out of energy before that, there is no point. Well, I guess you're right. I don't know what the two of them are doing. She says they are going to save me, but are they searching for something that can cure my condition? But all that work, it'll be useless if I die before they get home. But, there is no way to give you energy so you will be able to last until they come back. Oh no, don't do it. Please excuse me, but if you would allow it, then I can perform that method. Hisui hesitantly looks at my face. Hisui says there is a method to save me, at least for tonight. If that is true, then I have no reason to refute it. It isn't a matter of allowing or not. If it can help me even a little bit, then we don't have a choice. I'd like to ask for it myself. Yes, then Shiki-sama, could you please close your eyes for just a bit? Close my eyes? Well, sure, is this good? I was worried I was going to have to close my eyes and the game wasn't going to do it. Thank you, Mr. Game. That is fine. Please do not move. I hear footsteps. The rustling of her clothes tells me she's coming closer. And then something shifts onto the bed and I feel something touch my lips. A tender sensation. I feel the warmth of a human body, and it must be Hisui's lips. My body heats up. Her lips hesitantly pressing up against mine. The sensation, and the feeling of her breathing, seems to fill my body like a drug. Thump, thump. With just a kiss, my mind goes totally white. I am pleasantly floating away. All my pain, all my tiredness melts away like ice on a summer day. Hisui exhales. That small contact between us starts to get heavier. Hisui! I don't know what I'm doing. It's just that her lips feel so good, so I press back with mine. Shiki-sama. Hisui hesitantly starts to pull back. I don't want that, and I pull her closer to me. As Shiki pulls Hisui in for another kiss, she hesitates, but as he moves for her lips again, their mouths fully embrace one another. As they separate, Shiki wonders how long it lasted, and given the description of it all, I'm personally not surprised. At the end, Shiki opens his eyes. Hisui is adjusting her uniform. Shiki, meanwhile, is struggling to breathe as his heart races. Looking at Hisui, his mind races with two pressing questions. Hisui stands by the side of the bed, averting her gaze in embarrassment. I don't exactly know why she did that. Hisui, just now, why? Why did she kiss me? Why did nothing more than a kiss heal me better than any medicine? I don't understand any of it. That is the way I can help you, Shiki-sama. Help me? But how? I really don't know how. It is just that Nissan and I can transmit some of our energy to those we press our bodies against. If we exchange bodily fluids, we are able to recognize that person as someone like us, and it lets us share our energy and amplify their powers. What are you talking about? Content warning for this explanation, as it alludes to serious harm to children that is disturbing. The explanation is important, and it will be brought up in more detail later, so please keep that in mind if you choose to proceed. Ever since we were born, we've had these special bodies. We are not like the Tono family, but we are special people born from normal people. Makihisa-sama called us synchronizers. Ah, I think that word was in the old man's journal. Makihisa-sama brought us here to suppress his increasing Tono self. We are more suited for amplifying one's power rather than sharing our power. Makihisa-sama synchronized with Nissan with his human side. Oh no, I don't like that. That does not sound cool. That actually sounds really gross. And barely stayed sane. No, she doesn't have to tell me all this, but by the exchange of bodily fluids, it must mean... I don't understand completely, but your body, it's sort of like a medicine or something? Yes. Normally it would not have much of an effect, but now your energy is very low. I believe you will be able to at least return to your normal state even with my powers. I see. That's why I feel so good right now. I squeeze my hands. Moving. Yeah, I can move. My joints are a little stiff, but I can move my body with my own will. Being able to do such a simple thing makes me so happy right now. Thank you, Hisui. It looks like my body is back to normal thanks to you. I throw my arms up in the air, but Hisui still looks uneasy. As I think back, her breath felt so good I forced Hisui to continue kissing me. I'm sorry. Your breath, it felt so good, so I... No, what happened before was a good thing. I don't think I would have been able to transfer any fluids by myself. Hisui looks at me embarrassed. But Shiki-sama, this is a temporary treatment. You will return to your normal state soon. What, for real? My previous state? You mean back to the way I was? No, anything but that. Being able to move like this again, I finally understand. These past few days, my body has been terribly wrong. So now, since I can move again, thinking about my body going back to the way it was sends shivers down my spine. What should I do? I don't ever want to go through that again. Being like a puppet with its strings cut, my head feeling like it's being split open. This time, before my body would stop, I think my mind would break first. Shiki-sama, I do not want you to have to return to the way you were before, either. Therefore, can you share your body with me a little deeper this time? Oh no. With her fingers trembling, she says this while looking directly at me. My heart skips a beat. Sharing our bodies deeper means... it means exchanging our bodily fluids. So that would mean... That's, Hisui remains silent. Should I be the one to say it? In other words, I have to make love to you. Hisui nods wordlessly. My face instantly flushes crimson. The very thought makes me happy, but... No, that's bad. I can't go back to the way I was, but that's bad. Using you like that to make me better? That's just wrong. I emphatically refuse her offer. Hisui is still silent. It seems more like she's hurt by my words instead of being relieved by my refusal. No, it's not that I don't want you. It's just strange. It might help me, but to use your body like that is wrong. There is only something wrong with you, Shiki-sama. I understand that you do not want me. But if I do not do this, you will die tonight. So how can you say such things like that? No, that is... Right. That's why Hisui is suggesting that this preposterous plan. Hisui, who can't even stand contact with the opposite gender, is suggesting this because my life is at stake. So, she says all that for my sake. She's saying I can sleep with her, with like or dislike having nothing to do with it. Duh. Isn't it okay? I don't want to die either. I mean, all I have to do is sleep with her, and if I don't like that, then there really is something wrong with me. Hisui watches me quietly. Her fingers are still shaking. As uneasy as I am, she is still far more uneasy. But she hides it, and tries to act normally. She's doing so much for me, so why? Hisui, is this alright with you? Yes. If I can be useful to you, then I will be satisfied. No, that's not what I meant. Is she really okay with giving her body to someone she does not love? I don't like it. I want to sleep with her. I think I love her and I want to do things for her sake. But those are two different things. Simply put, I don't want to sleep with her because I don't know if Hisui loves me or not. Is it okay, Hisui? Giving out your body like that, you won't regret it later. I do not know, but I just have one request to ask of you. Request? Yes, Shiki-sama, if you were to like me even just a little bit, just for now, please, think only of that. If you are to love me just for now, I would never regret this. Hisui speaks, still trembling. I'm stupid. I've never felt more stupid than I do right now. Hisui, what do I mean by I don't want to if Hisui doesn't love me? Really, I don't deserve to say that. Come here. Right now, I really need you. Hisui draws closer. Reaching out my arms, I draw her towards me. But don't get me wrong. Even without my condition, I've always wanted you the most for all this time. Then, bringing her down to the bed, I run my fingers across her body. As the screen fades to black, I'd like to announce a back-to-back chapter sex scene. Yep. However, it doesn't start right away. This black screen actually lasts a while. In it, Shiki and Hisui awkwardly attempt to start, as Hisui has not done it before. She initially wants to keep her uniform on, but given what they're about to do, that's not tenable. Because of the outfit's complexity, she has to stand back up to take it off. An image of her mostly finished, with the exception of her maid hat, and the start of track 5 signals the start of the scene proper. A few points of note, mid-scene, I ended up looking up a word that was used that I didn't know. Keloid on her otherwise perfect skin. What the fuck is keloid? And why do I feel like I need safe search for this on? A type of raised scar? They occur when the skin is healed after an injury. There was also a point where I thought it was going to be over, but then it kept going because Shiki didn't finish in her, which was necessary. So then they kept going. But when that was done, and they start talking briefly, Hisui then starts sucking on his finger, which I'm only mentioning because it's the payoff from chapter 9. So for any of you wondering if that was leading to something, there you go. Eventually, after a few more times, Hisui falls asleep while Shiki is full of energy and feels as good as he used to. He thinks he can only move like this tonight, so after stroking her hair one more time, he changes and heads out of the bedroom. Ooh, where are we going? That's right. Akiha and Kohaku-san aren't here. This is a good opportunity. I can do some investigating into what happened 8 years ago. I enter the old man's room. This place should definitely have something to answer for my questions. The desk drawer. It's empty now. There might be something that belongs to the old man in one of the locked drawers, but I don't think he'll keep something that important there. It'd be great if he had a safe or something. I search the room. Here it is. I find something like a safe pretty easily. There's no external lock and I don't know the dial combination, so I take off my glasses and cut its line. There seems to be an old diary and some envelopes. The diary looks like that of a child and the other looks like some old letters. Old letters? Why? The handwriting is definitely my old man's. It's fragmented and I can't understand it at first glance. The date starts in the summer of 8 years ago and seems to continue on a little past that. I don't understand it yet, but I continue leafing through it. The first journal entry seems to be written either on the same day or soon after the accident 8 years ago. Makihisa writes that his biological son Shiki killed his adopted son after inverting. The adopted son is not related to Hisui or Kohaku, whom he labeled as synchronizers and of higher value. Instead, he was of the Nania family. Makihisa is hesitant to kill his own son, as is his duty being the head of the Tono family. He then discussed his 2 children, the aforementioned Shiki, as well as his daughter, Akiha. Though Akiha's blood is older than her brother's, Shiki is much stronger, and that must be why he inverted before adulthood. His son's power, which he labels as immortality and fusion, was too powerful to contain, resulting in the murder of the Nania child. He ends the page by praising his son for his skillful use of his powers despite just awakening to them. Tilde month X day. Both Shiki and the adopted son managed to escape death. Before I killed Shiki, he killed the adopted son and stole his life, regenerating himself with it. I don't know if it is because he was so close to death, but Shiki has regained some of his sanity. Even though it is dangerous, I will not kill him, but simply separate him from the mansion for a while. On the other hand, the adopted child of Nanaya will not live long even if he does survive. Even if he does heal, his life has been taken by Shiki. His body can die any day. As long as the adopted child lives, there is a possibility that his mind will be attuned with Shiki's. It seems it is a side effect of their two lives being linked, but if that happens, the adopted son will die eventually, so there is no problem there. Tilde month, tilde day. The problem of maintaining appearances to normal society remains. Shiki has killed the adopted Nania child. I have covered up the incident, but Shiki cannot be shown to the public. The wound I gave him hasn't healed, and his figure has transformed. He is not in a condition to be brought in front of others as Tono Shiki. He cannot be called a human either. The Nanaya child still lives. As long as he lives, I've decided to use him. If there are any disagreements, I would like to hear them. Complementarity. The Nanayas are a family that produces killers. If that adopted son happens to stay alive, the link between him and Shiki may corrupt Shiki's mind. Even if Shiki regained his sanity, I cannot deny the possibility of the Nanaya's child's influence turning him into a killer. To not let this happen, we must have him somewhere where he can keep an eye on him. But we cannot allow him near the Tono mansion either. I should have raised him by an appropriate branch of the family. Tilde month X day. The Tono blood that has awakened within Shiki. Maybe it is because he was so close to death, but he's regained his sanity like before. But I don't know if something will cause him to invert again. Even though it tears me apart, I cannot allow Shiki near the Tono mansion either. I place him in the care of a trusted servant. Tilde month X day. I still haven't received word that his sanity has completely been restored. A year has passed with him under the care of another house. My heart is in anguish. It is so hard for me when I think of the way my own son has to live. As soon as Shiki heals, I will be able to bring him back to the mansion. What is this? Adopted son? I knew about the adoption 10 years ago. Even though I don't exactly remember the details, I know about it. He killed me? 8 years ago. In that courtyard? Our minds are linked. The words say that my mind and his are possibly linked. Normally, this story would just be something to laugh off. But right now, it explains too much. No, that's not it. This isn't anything like that. I know. Even though I already know about it, I try not to notice. I want to deny it again. The adopted child was... The one who was killed was... I know which is which, but I don't want to admit it. This is useless. Cursing myself, I toss the letters to the side. All that's left is this. I pick up the diary in the safe. It looks like a child's diary. Certainly nothing Tono Makihisa would have had. I flip the pages. There are only 2 words. Help me. Like that. On a white page, it is written really small. Huh? I flip through the pages. Help me. I turn the page. Help me. I turn the page. Help me. I turn the page. What? It's like a curse that brings the reader to the depths of darkness. Help me. 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 I feel sick. I've seen many nightmares up until now, but this is far worse. Those words. Help me. It isn't that whoever wrote this diary knew only those words. Only these words. That is all this person could feel. None of the dark litany was scribbled out. One letter after another, like the spewed feelings of this person. This is the only way the author could escape. This person knew no other way to let out this curse. There's still more than half the diary to look at. I can't bring myself to read the rest of it. I flip through the pages, trying not to look at its contents. As I flip through the pages, my hand stops on the very last page. Regular sentences. On the last page, there is a short paragraph. Silver lettering adorns the otherwise perfectly white sheets. So it's better to just become a doll. Gradually, my body stopped generating a pulse. Blood vessels turned into tubes one by one. Blood vanished like vapor. My heart, everything, just crafted parts. See? That's why there will be no more pain. Closing the diary, I put it back in the safe. I don't know why Tono Makihisa kept such a thing, but I do know one thing. Fearing the child's malice, it was something meant to be sealed away in the safe. Oh no. As the day ends, Shiki is outside the mansion. He makes his way to the clearing from his dreams. He knows nothing remains from it, but he feels that he has to in order to understand his feelings. When he arrives, the clearing is empty, though the scene flashes in his head once more. Someone died here, but when he tries to understand which child died that day, he can only assume that he was the killer. A nearby voice rejects this conclusion. That is incorrect. The one who was killed was you, Shiki-sama. I turn around. I don't know when she arrived, but Hisui is there. Hisui, you woke up already? Don't push yourself. Aren't you still tired? Shiki-sama, you are the one who should not push yourself. You are still losing energy at a great pace, much more than you have gained. Hisui stands before me. Ah, my pulse picks up. Hisui standing so close to me really does make me feel more alive. Wow, my body really is warm. I think it is your warmth coming into me. But Hisui, what are you saying? You say that I was killed here. Do you know what happened here? Yes, I saw you die here. You were killed by Shiki. Not just your body and soul, but everything was killed. Her voice is shaking. It isn't that she is scared. Instead, she sounds incredibly angry at the person who killed me. Wait a sec, Hisui. The one who was killed was the adopted Naniya kid. So, wasn't he the one who died? No, you are the one that died, Shiki-sama. Hisui answers directly. Oh, I see. Then that means... I see. So I'm the adopted child. Yes, you are a descendant of the Naniya family. Makihisa-sama adopted you. You were the only surviving member. Your name is Shiki, because Makihisa-sama found it amusing that his son was also named Shiki by a strange coincidence, he adopted you. So he's Naniya Shiki. But Makihisa's son is Tono Shiki. But to differentiate the two, I think the Shiki, when it's in caps, is like a different spelling of it or something, if I was remembering right. So they're very similar, so he adopts him for that. Okay. Our names are the same? Yes. It is natural for you to be confused, and you are different from us. You were really adopted into the Tono family. I can't speak. Such a thing isn't a shock or anything. I remember not getting along with my old man from the beginning, and I never felt quite right in the mansion, so such a thing... Such a thing... Even if it were all lies, I am very sorry. Saying things that cause you sadness. No, I'm fine. I'm not sad. I say that, but I know it's a lie. I don't know what kind of feeling it is, but it is true that I feel an emptiness in my heart. But that's weird. People of the Tono bloodline have powers, don't they? If Shiki is a vampire, then what am I? I am not the same as him, but I have these strange eyes. I do not know in detail, but Akiha-sama said that you are the same as Nissan and I, whose family are enemies to those of mixed blood. We have the power to synchronize with those we exchange fluids with, and the Naniya family had the power to fight demons. I see. Certainly my eyes are not a power to help people like Hisui's. Rather, it is a power to kill. I see. But then, why was I adopted by the old man? It doesn't make any sense that he would adopt an enemy. Shiki-sama, you are the inheritor of a very special bloodline of demon hunters. Asagama, Fujiu, Ryogi, and Nanaya. Those 4 families are the enemies of mixed blood. I think Makihisa-sama brought you here to help fend off something. I mean, how did he even get a chance to adopt me in the first place? I heard that you were the only member of the Nanaya families to survive. Ah, I see. 10 years ago, the Japanese-style house nestled deep within the mountains. Surrounded by a black forest, a rustic world isolated from the flow of history. I can't quite remember it well. All I can remember is the pale blue glass moon. And in the forest clearing, a figure that looked like Tono Makihisa was cutting up lots of people. But that was then, and this is now. Something done so long ago, it doesn't matter now. Well, I understand that I was killed by Shiki here, but how is it that I'm living as Tonoshiki right now? Yes. Without a doubt, you were stabbed by Shiki in the chest, and on the verge of death. But by some miracle, you were able to recover. You were saved, and Shiki also survived. Since no one died, everything should have ended right there, but Shiki had become something that could not be shown to other people. I see, so a replacement was needed for Tonoshiki. The name of Tono Makihisa is in the top of the business world. His son can't just suddenly die. Yes, Makihisa-sama pretended that the Naniya child died, and had you live as Tonoshiki. It was all to protect the family name. I get it. It's something the old man would do. Yeah, everything fits in now. Even though I am Tonoshiki, I'm not technically part of the Tono family. Besides, Akiha, no one else holds that blood. So my old man sent me to live with the Arimas, and contrived a situation where I couldn't be the successor since my health was bad even though I was supposedly the eldest son of the Tono household. Shiki-sama, It's fine. You don't have to apologize for keeping this a secret. Just telling me now is enough. Besides, aren't you like me? No, compared to you or Nissan, I have not suffered at all. Even after Makihisa-sama died... Even after Makihisa-sama died and Akiha-sama took us under her care. So only I live peacefully, not knowing anything. Wait, Hisui... Akiha... She knows that I'm not her real brother? Yes. She heard it from Makihisa-sama soon after you were adopted. But Akiha-sama would always insist that you were her real brother. Every day, Makihisa-sama would tell Akiha-sama to forget about you. But Akiha-sama would never agree. Even though she would be scolded severely, she still waited for you in her heart. If you knew the truth, you would leave. That is why Akiha-sama told us to never let you know the truth. Akiha-sama always helped Nissan and myself. Nissan was Makihisa-sama's servant and was not allowed out of this room. Akiha-sama hated that and freed Nissan. So, for Akiha-sama's sake, we continued the lie. Akiha-sama, all of us, we wanted you to come back. Hisui. So please, do not hate Akiha-sama. More than anyone else, she thinks importantly of you. Yeah, I know. There's no way I would hate her. It's more appropriate for me to be hated. I was the one living peacefully while you were all suffering. So, I am thankful to Akiha. She welcomed me, nothing more than an outsider, back to the mansion. She even called me brother. So I'll have to keep it up too. If she is willing to call me Tonoshiki as her brother, then I don't care about the name Naniya Shiki. I have to continue being her brother. Continue being Tonoshiki. Gah! Shiki-sama! Hisui rushes to me. I separate myself from Hisui, who is staring with a worried face, and take a deep breath. Jeez, I just got helped by you, Hisui, but I'm still having these headaches. Shiki-sama, your body's weakening is because of that incident 8 years ago. At that time, Shiki stole your life, and is using it to prolong his own life. That is why you are weakening, and why you are linked with Shiki. I see. So that's how it is. In other words, as long as I don't do something about the killer, Shiki, I won't be able to return to normal. So are they trying to find him? To find Shiki? Is he still living separately to Shiki? Yes, I believe he despises you utterly. That is why he is stealing your life gradually, trying to dirty your heart. He's enjoying your pain. Her voice is shaded with anger again. He hates me. I don't get it. He's the one that killed me. I could understand having a grudge against him, but why would he have a grudge against me? No, Shiki sees you as someone who has killed him. Shiki-sama, you have caused the existence of Tonoshiki to disappear. I caused him to disappear? Yes, you were certainly killed by Shiki. But once your life was saved, you took Shiki's place as Tonoshiki. After that, the Shiki who was confined somewhere must have viewed you as a threat.
Shiki is still alive, but there is now someone else existing as Shiki. Shiki is still alive, but you have taken away everything as Shiki, and he became something that has no name, no existence. I see. So he views himself as the rightful Shiki, and sees me as an imposter. No wonder. Shiki wants to kill me and get everything back. But that is coming to an end. I will protect you, Shiki-sama. No matter what Shiki does, I will not let him kill you once again. Even if the killer Shiki walks the streets, he will be disposed of. So please, until then, rest in your room. Rest in my room? No, that won't help me. She doesn't know it, but our fusion gets worse by the day. That means, if he really does go crazy, I don't know if I can stay sane myself. He's a guy who would even hurt himself to get his revenge. Revenge? No, that's not it. The Shiki who says he wants to kill me, he was killed by me. The Shiki who says who sees me as an imposter. The Shiki who repeatedly says he will kill me. The Shiki who says any of this would not have happened if I was not here. The Shiki who has lost his sanity like Tono Makihisa, killing people in the streets. And yes, the one who died in the distant past. The child called Nanaya Shiki. Unconsciously, I grip my teeth. Don't be ridiculous. I'm the one who has the right to be bitter, Shiki. Suddenly, the old wound on my chest starts to hurt. There's only one way to stop this pain. Shiki-sama, where are you? You know. He says he's going to come, but I'm not going to wait for him. I know where his hideout is. I will end this worthless connection of ours. Please stop, Shiki-sama. With your body like that, it will be too dangerous. Hisui, sorry, but there's a knife in my room. Would you go get it for me? I refuse. I cannot let you go. Oh well, I'll get it myself. Watch over things when I'm gone. Shiki-sama. Turning my back to Hisui, I walk away. Shiki-sama, if you do that, I will really get upset. Silently apologizing to Hisui, I head back inside. I leave the gate. In my pocket is the knife engraved with Nania. Thanks to Hisui, I have strength in my body now. If there is a problem, that Hisui remains by my side. Hisui, please go back to the mansion. I refuse. You did not listen to my words, so I will not listen to yours. Hisui peevishly tosses her head to the side. Now look, I'm not saying you're going to get in the way. The place I'm going is very dangerous. I want you to stay in the mansion. You say that, but I should leave. You will collapse. If you really do want to go, it will be a big problem for you unless I go along. Your power is like that? But we did that. We joined our bodies together so much. Shouldn't I be good for a while? No, that is just like a ritual to form intimate bonds between us. Even if someone exchanges fluids with me or Nissan, they cannot receive energy if we are not nearby. That's a huge problem. If that is true, then I can't even get to the school by myself. If you still order me to stay here, I will. Please, decide on what I should do. Hisui looks at me directly. This has to be a choice. There's no way this isn't. It seems my answer is already decided. If I can't get to school without her help, then I can only let her come with me. Alright, well, I guess not. The two arrive at school. The eerie silence of this usually busy place has Shiki a bit unnerved. Hisui asks if this is the place, but he doesn't have an answer. He's going off of what he saw in his dreams, so he's not able to put it in words. Saying, "Let's go, Hisui." They head to the main building. There, they both stop, as a change in the air catches their attention. The air as a whole is creaking. The tense atmosphere stings our lungs. This feeling, I felt this ill wind many times in my nightmares. The air is thick with a murderous intent. Hostility. Hatred. Inside the building, the darkness is filled with murderous intent as if a battle to the death is occurring like in my dreams. Shiki, he's fighting someone? I don't get it. There couldn't be anyone that would be able to fight an inhuman monster like him. Ni-san? A whisper. Hisui speaks this as if resisting the urge to throw up. Ni-san, Kohaku-san. Akiha hasn't been in the mansion since this morning. She left with Kohaku-san and didn't return all day. Last night, when I was locked up in my room, Akiha told me to just wait a little longer. What? Don't tell me. Akiha! My legs spring into action. Before I start to think, I dash towards the building. I run into the building. Inside, the air is even more tense. Shiki-sama. Not answering her, I search for any indication of presence. The hallway is horribly quiet. A high-pitched sound assails my eardrums. It shakes the windows. The sound is coming from the floor above me. Shiki-sama, that's... Just stay close. Let's go, Hisui. Shiki dashes upstairs with Hisui while thinking back on Akiha and Kohaku's conversation in the old house. He understands that they were talking about killing her biological brother Shiki, and that they must be the ones fighting now. The screeing sound happens again from the 4th floor, and Shiki speeds up. Due to their connection, he knows that Shiki's strength is beyond that of a human, so he worries that no matter her tone of blood, Akiha won't be able to win. However, he is also worried about her for another reason. Akiha. I turned her away, not trusting her. I haven't done anything to act like her brother, but she still calls me her brother. And now, she is fighting the killer Shiki herself. Damn it! I just have this terrible, awful feeling. Akiha. Akiha can't possibly win. Will Shiki kill her? I don't know. I don't think he will kill Akiha since he persistently went after Akiha in the dreams. But on the other hand, I don't think he has the same definition of being persistent about someone. Our definition is obtaining the ones we are persistent about. He's crazy. I can't understand his broken conceptions since I'm not. No, even a lunatic couldn't understand another lunatic's thoughts. Since the lunatic himself cannot understand it, no one understands it, and he has to be alone. Akiha. She is alive. Akiha, she has to be alive. There's no way she'll be killed by Shiki, because I should be the one Shiki is going to kill. Akiha, I cannot let her die in my place. If such a thing's happen, As I arrive on the 4th floor, the sound screeches once more. It's close. It feels like it's in the hallway past these stairs. Akiha! The worst mental image still writhing in my brain, I dash into the hallway. Eh? For a moment, I stand dumbstruck. From behind me, I hear Hisui gasp. Akiha! That's the only thing that pops into my head. The moonlit hallway, and the freezing air that cuts into my lungs. Akiha is standing a few yards down the hall. Oh shit. Like blood. A deep crimson. At first, it looks like Akiha's blood. But that's not right. What is red is just her long hair. I'm still not able to grasp what is going on. Down the hallway, there is Akiha, with her red flowing hair. And him, crouching with one hand on the floor, coughing up blood. The one kneeling before Akiha is him, Shiki. Akiha is looking down at him. Drawing close behind her is the figure of Kohaku-san. Shiki is seemingly on the verge of death and grasping for air. Akiha is not even breathing wildly. The situation. Unbelievably, it would seem Akiha is the one overwhelming him. Gah! Shiki leaped forward. In a flash of speed I can't even follow, a black blur shoots towards Akiha. Akiha simply glances down at Shiki. With that, his body slams down to the ground, and as if in response to the sound, his torso burns, giving out smoke. Ah! Shiki's scream echoes through the hallway. His evaporating body is covered in smoke. His body under his kimono has mostly bones showing, like a mummy. But he still lives, his gruesome form still staring at Akiha, his eyes filled with fear. On the other hand, Akiha's clothes are undisturbed. Even from here, I understand it all. Her surroundings are distorted like a heat-induced mirage, and it seems more out of this world than the air in the building. Shiki claws at his evaporating body. Akiha calmly observes without carelessness. These two's power, they are fundamentally different. Amazing. Akiha-sama, that is amazing. Behind me, Hisui speaks in surprise. That's exactly what I'm thinking too. What is this? You can say she is superior, but that's too much. She is too overwhelming. This is it, Shiki. Akiha. With ragged breath, Shiki somehow manages to say his real sister's name. Akiha. She just stares at Shiki, unmoving. Why? Why are you treating me like this? I'm your true Nissan. Shifting, the distortion around Akiha increases even more. I love you, Akiha. I only love you. That's why I kept living in that damn basement, trying to kill that imposter and trying to get us back to being brother and sister. So why are you getting in my way, Akiha? I'm not getting in your way. This is nothing more than my duty as the head of the Tono household, the duty to pass down judgment on all those in the family who stray from being human. I'm the head of the Tono household. If he was not here, I would have still been Shiki. I could have always been your Nissan. Wake up, Akiha. That imposter is just deceiving you. The distortion around Akiha increases even more. After closing her eyes briefly, she looks at Shiki as if she is parting with him. I am not being deceived. You are not my Nissan. Shiki hides his face with his hands, but that is pointless. I don't understand what kind of power Akiha possesses, but that takes away heat from everything in her view, anything she can see. It is an inevitable plunder. So in the next instant, Shiki's face will vaporize. Well, it should have. Shiki-san? Kohaku-san says this as she realizes our presence. Akiha turns towards us in surprise. In that brief moment, for a split second, completely letting down her guard. There's no way he would let that chance slip away. Ha! Shiki lunges with a cry. His black shape explodes forward like a firework. Tch. Akiha and Kohaku-san both turn, but it's hopeless. They'll never make it. The black shape isn't going for Akiha. Shiki lunges not at Akiha, but at Kohaku-san, who stands next to her. He knows. Just like how I am able to move right now because of Hisui's power, he knows that Akiha's overwhelming power is possible through Kohaku-san's help. Kohaku! Akiha's voice cannot stop it. Shiki raises his voice and with his arm thrusting like a spear aims for Kohaku's face. The sound of pierced flesh. Oh my god. My voice dies in my throat. Splat. The sound of blood spurting forth. Kohaku-san's face is splattered with redness of Akiha's blood. Akiha? Sama? The sound of coughing. Akiha tries to speak, but blood is the only thing that pours from her mouth. That means the majority of her blood vessels have been destroyed, and all she can do is regurgitate blood. I can't speak. My mind is empty. The same as Shiki, who has just impaled Akiha. Shiki pulls his arm back. A thud. Akiha's body falls down on Kohaku-san. Shiki swings his blood-stained arm around wildly. Every time he waves it around, Akiha's blood paints the wall and the ceiling. Shiki shakes his arm desperately. Akiha! Shiki suddenly stops moving. He stares at Akiha's blood-drenched body, then looks at his blood-soaked arm, then bolts down the hallway as if running away from something. His footsteps lead upstairs. Shiki has run to the rooftop, but I don't care about that. Akiha! Still unable to think, I run to her. Kohaku-san is still standing in a daze, and her amber eyes nothing more than jewels devoid of emotion. I crouch down next to Akiha's body. Akiha just lies on the floor, powerless, with terribly calm eyes. Akiha! I can't tell her it's alright. Even with my glasses on, I can see them. Akiha! They're the only words that I can think of. Akiha, with her calm, gentle eyes, looks up at me. Nissan, why are you here? She coughs. More blood trickles down her mouth. I can see them. The lines of death on her body are spreading across her body with gruesome speed. This is fatal. The fact that she's still alive must simply be due to her unnatural Tono blood. God damn it, why? Even though I understand death better than anyone else, I don't want to believe it. Don't move. I'll help you right away. Taking off my shirt, I put it on Akiha's chest. Trying to cover her wound, I tie it up. The blood soaks the shirt in a matter of seconds. It doesn't do anything. As if trying to hold off my weeping emotions, I push against it. All I can do is push. Hey, answer me. Akiha says this to me like she does not see me pushing against her wound. Nissan, why are you here? I'm curious, so I can't rest until I know. Things I don't understand, they make me angry. You know that, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. I nod. Her wound keeps bleeding. The shirt is too soaked and I can't stop the bleeding. Damn it, this crappy shirt. Why does it have to soak so fast? I'm pissed. At the useless shirt, my useless self. Really, really not being able to stop just one wound. Stupid. Why do you ask? This is my school. Even though it's late, it's not that strange for me to be here. I hold back my tears. I answer as best as I can. Ah, I see. This isn't like me at all. I didn't even think of that at all. Akiha sounds satisfied. She doesn't even seem to be in pain. Only her body warmth starts to disappear, like pure white ice melting under the sun. Does she understand what is happening? Or maybe it is because she does understand. She speaks normally as if we were talking during breakfast. Hey, did you hear about what we were talking about? Yeah, sorry, but I heard. Oh, you know now. I'm such an idiot. Letting you hear it, the person I didn't want to let hear the most. Don't speak. It's okay, so relax. Please. Please. I roll up my shirt and tie it around her body. I know it's useless, but if I don't do anything, I don't think I can stay sane. I'm sorry. I deceived you all this time. I've kept secrets about so many things. It's okay. I don't care about it, so please. Nissan, you are not my real brother. I was a horrible woman. I wanted you to always be by my side, so I told all those stupid lies. So this is my punishment. With her trembling lips, Akiha says those words clearly. The blood doesn't stop. I'll go crazy at this rate. I already knew, so don't worry about it. I grip her hand tightly. She takes a deep breath. Akiha gives a strange smile. Nissan, you knew? Then I didn't have to hold back. I really am an idiot. Her lips shape those words. She should have said it. She should have voiced it. But Akiha did not do so. Akiha? There is no reply. What I am holding right now is not breathing. Hey! There is no response. What I am holding is what used to be Tono Akiha. Say something! There will never be an answer. What I am holding has closed her eyes calmly. Akiha! I shake her body, even though I understand better than anyone else that it has no meaning. Shiki-sama, please! Hisui places her hand on mine. Without even realizing it, I was making her body dirty. I, like an idiot, made her body dirty. Quietly, I place her on the floor. The school building is horribly quiet. Hisui and I are wordlessly frozen. Only Kohaku-san seems to have regained the power to move. Oh no. I wonder where Shiki-sama went to. Shiki. Those words catapult my consciousness back. Nissan, don't say that now. No, Kohaku-san is right. I stand up. It's a good thing. It really is a good thing I brought my knife. Please stop, Shiki-sama. You don't have to do such a dangerous thing. Shiki will not last long with that wound anyways. No. Akiha went that far since she could not let Shiki, the killer, be alive any longer. For Akiha's sake, I cannot let him be. I say this as I push her away. That's a lie. More than that, just 'cause I have to settle this with him here and now. I hate him. Put it simply, I just want to kill him. Don't follow me. Both of you stay here and take care of Akiha. Kohaku-san nods. Hisui uneasily watches me as I run up the stairs. The rooftop. The moon hangs in the sky. The wild beast is crouching on the concrete. Shiki. I remove my glasses. I look at his death. Crouching, Shiki is biting into his own arms. There exists no trace of sanity. Perhaps what happened caused him to go insane. That pisses me off. I am not able to lose my sanity for Akiha's sake. Underneath the moonlight, even though I've known him for so long, I take my first step towards the enemy I just met tonight. Shiki. Akiha is dead. Shiki looks at me with bloodshot eyes. His face is half gone, but he still isn't dead. The power of those of Tono blood. Shiki's power is immortality. That must mean it is harder for him to die, more likely for him to live on. That's funny. For me, that means nothing. You look ugly. Shut up! Shiki gets up with a sharp breath. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Like a broken record, he repeats the same thing. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Just shut the hell up. Panting furiously, Shiki just shouts. You're always noisy. What kind of grudge do you have against me? Why are you always getting in my way? Shiki screams around while staggering around. What are you? I don't get it. Just shut up. Just leave me alone. Don't look inside me. Don't use my dreams. You always watching me. That's why I'm so full of uneasiness. Shiki claws at his head. What? I never even thought about that. I've always seen him tracking him in my dreams, but it never even occurred to me how Shiki would feel about being tracked. Get out. Get out of me. Get out of my house. Get out of my name. You're in my way. You're in my way. You're in my way. Shiki is screaming like a child. Same goes for you. I raise my knife. I never thought to understand him in the first place. I came here for a death match. Fine, let's fight to the death. All those who get in my way are my enemy. I'll kill you all. You, Akiha, Kohaku, just like that old man who wanted to lock me up till I died. I'll kill you all. Shiki screams like a raving lunatic. His figure really is ugly. I don't want to like scream in like a lower voice because it's super late out, but yeah. And then Shiki attacks me head on. And then I fucking shank his ass. Because of his fight with Akiha, Shiki doesn't have a functional body. So it was easy. Shiki runs, or so he thinks, and I avoid his arm, which is swung slower than walking speed. I slice the line from the top of his head to his abdomen. Gah! Thud. Shiki's body loses power and collapses onto mine. See, it's simple. Your lines are too clear. Shiki's death looked like an iron shaft was sticking out of his head. See? That's what I meant by ugly. Shiki just laughs. There's no intelligence left. Then he laughs. Laughing and dying. His arms leaning on me fall to the ground. Shiki dies. Before he does, he looks at me, curiously. Who are you? Eh? Who are you? What are you saying? I'm Tono Shiki you were always targeting. I see. You are Shiki. Shiki collapses to the ground. What's this? You look nothing like what I heard. Shiki collapses and his body disperses into the wind. It's over. With this, it's over. But I don't feel anything. I won't feel those splitting headaches. I can return to life as normal, but I don't feel happy. What I've lost is far greater. But what is over? Why? I feel dizzy. Shiki's last words won't fade away. Something did end, but I don't know what happened or in the beginning what I was trying to end. I look up at the moon. In the vague darkness, my heart is enthralled. Until Hisui came, I just stood in dumb amazement, standing in the moonlight. With the murderous Shiki dead, the killings have truly come to an end. With Akiha also dying in the encounter, Shiki can't fully celebrate this outcome. We will now proceed to the epilogue, Midday Moon. Next week passed like it was a dream. Just like Shiki's dead body, Akiha's remains dissolved into nothingness. The whole affair did not leak out to the public and was taken care of by the people of the Tono family. I stayed in the mansion, becoming the successor of the Tono household in Akiha's place. For now, it is just in a name, but I guess it's not something that can be determined easily. Since Shiki died, my body returned to health and I'm allowed to lead a normal life. As for everything else, only a little has changed since before. My happy school life without Akiha, my life at the mansion with Hisui and Kohaku-san. I, Tono Shiki, think the whole incident that occurred after I came to the mansion ended. However, there was still a matter that I have to take care of. If I think about it, there was a slight discrepancy. It was something so small that if I didn't question it, I would never have noticed. That night, if Shiki did not leave those words before he died. The discrepancies between my memories and what Kohaku-san and Hisui told me. Shiki had a grudge against Makihisa. Shiki had a grudge against the old man because he was going to be locked away his entire life, even though my old man wanted to return Shiki to the mansion as early as possible. Shiki thought of me as a target of revenge, but he never showed up in front of me, and he did not even know what I looked like. And one more thing. That one dream where Shiki violated that one doll-like girl. That is probably a clear holiday afternoon. I told Hisui to go shopping. I asked her for a lot so she shouldn't be back until evening. The only ones in the mansion are me and her. I leave her in her room a note that says I want to talk to her. It is almost the promised time. I have to go to that place. When I get there, she is already there, waiting for me. Lovely weather, isn't it, Shiki-san? I nod. She smiles cheerfully at me. You realized it, didn't you, Shiki-san? I nod. Her smile does not fade. Always. Her smile does not go away no matter what happens. Come to think of it, the expressionless Hisui actually showed a lot of different feelings. From the outside, she appeared to be a heartless doll, but her heart was not a doll's. However, what about this girl? The always ever smiling Kohaku. No matter what happens, always a smile, like a person with the heart of a doll. Even when Akiha died, that smile did not fade. Her smile that is just like a mask. That smile. Kohaku-san, you're the one who made Shiki go crazy, right? Yes. And the reason you were sharing your blood with Akiha was to make her not human. Yes. And you lied to Shiki and made him attack innocent people. Yes. When we were small, the one watching us from a distance wasn't Hisui. It was you, Kohaku. Yes. Back then, you intentionally distracted Akiha. Yes. And then you suggested that I killed Shiki. Yes. All of it. All of it is how you planned it out, Kohaku. Still smiling, she nods. Oh, that's the face. That's it. That's right. All of it was something I wish would happen, Shiki-san. Still, she smiles. I feel a chill and unknowingly take a step back. Why? Why did you do those things? Oh my, you know already. There are only one or two reasons why I would do all this. Revenge. I think that's it. For the sake of revenge, I decided that every one of the Tono should die. Revenge. Is it because, like me, you had your parents killed by Tono Makihisa? Oh, don't be silly. Hisui-chan and I were orphans. We didn't even know what our parents looked like. So why? Who knows? I don't even remember how I felt back then. All I know is the reason. The reason? What reason? Let's see. Such as getting abused by Makihisa-sama. That is the reason why Hisui-chan and I were adopted in the first place. In order to stay human, he needed our abilities as synchronizers. Shiki-san, you've done it with Hisui-chan, right? It is said that sexual intercourse is the best way to share energy. Yeah, I definitely expected to be where this was going, but that doesn't make me any more upset with it. I knew that already. That means, in other words, Kohaku explains that she was chosen since she was not very talkative, unlike her sister. As a result, she was the target of Makihisa's violence and abuse. She would be stationed in his room whenever he needed to quell his blood, and she was never allowed outside. Though she doesn't remember details of most of these times, she is able to recount when it first started, on her 8th birthday. From that day on, it would get worse. Hisui was also chosen to suffer the same fate, as both of them are synchronizers. However, Kohaku, as the older sister, was determined to protect her younger sister Hisui. She managed to convince Makihisa not to use Hisui, but instead to let her take everything herself. She thinks that, either out of shame or that the less people involved, the less would leak out, he accepted. Time and again, she would think about escaping the mansion with Hisui, but she didn't know where they would go. As the abuse went on, the more she couldn't handle it all. Eventually, I got tired of thinking, and I realized that if I did think, it wouldn't hurt. I am just a doll. A doll doesn't know pain. A doll doesn't think. I endured Makihisa-sama thinking like that. Then, it mysteriously did not hurt as much as before. Makihisa-sama's breath didn't make me sick. His arms were just like warm meat. And even if he strangled my neck or kicked me in the stomach, it seemed like he was doing it to someone else. And every day got a little easier. Shiki-san, I wanted Hisui-chan to stay clean. For her sake, I could endure any kind of abuse. But it was so hard. Not Makihisa-sama's abuse. I couldn't understand you, and that made me scared. Scared of me? Yes. The way you played innocent was like a different world to me. I looked out of the window to see all of you play with when Makihisa-sama wasn't looking. I didn't understand any of that. I didn't understand why you did those pointless things. It was strange for me to think so since it was just another world and I couldn't be involved in it. I wasn't jealous of you and I didn't hate the Tono children. All I did was stare at all of you while having this unknown feeling. But I was afraid that feeling would turn me back into a human. And 2 years later, you were killed by Shiki-sama. You probably don't remember it, but Shiki-sama was trying to kill Akiha-sama. But you suddenly came and you shielded Akiha-sama. You weren't related to her and you had everything stolen from you by the Tono family, but you still died protecting her. At that time, I was watching Akiha-sama, who was holding onto your dead body painfully but happily. Oh, maybe I made up my mind back then, that it would suit Akiha-sama for her to die just like you did. What? Wait, Shiki-san. If you want to know the reason, you have to be patient. I stopped my rush towards her. Days later, you were brought back to the mansion, and you were going to be adopted by the Arimas. That was really a secret, but I overheard it from Makihisa-sama. That's how I knew you would be leaving. I didn't have any time to tell Akiha-sama or Hisui-chan. When I thought that I couldn't see that boy again, without getting to talk to him, my legs strangely moved and I ran down the hallway and found him, but I couldn't think of anything to say. So I gave him my ribbon, the only thing that I owned. Oh no, and we gave it to Hisui. I heard that the Tono family members were going to terminate Shiki-sama soon after that. Makihisa-sama didn't want to kill his own son, so he secretly locked him away underground. He said Shiki-sama would return to normal and asked me to take care of him. Oh, of course that's how it was. So that dream was real. It wasn't that I wanted to abuse Hisui or Kohaku-san. That was in reality. Shiki did that to her. After gaining some freedom from Makihisa-sama, I became a little happy. But it was the same. Shiki-sama was just like his father, and only used me to let out his feelings. I think that had to have been what destroyed my last emotions. I desperately thought about how I could break free from everything. Then, I easily came up with a solution. The whole Tono family just had to disappear. If not only Makihisa-sama, but Shiki-sama did those painful things, then that's the only possible thing to do, right? And when I realized it, I laughed for the first time in years. I was surprised that it was so simple and I didn't even realize it before. From that time, I was able to start moving on my own. The hardest thing for me was to find a reason to move. A doll can't move by itself. Without a spring or strings, it can't act like a human. So once I found a reason, everything became simple. All I needed to do was to place mistrust between them by making Shiki-sama reject Makihisa-sama. Shiki-sama said that he wanted to drink blood, so I gave him mine and told him that he wasn't a bad person, and I kept him the way he was. When Shiki-sama became sick, I took care to make special medicine for him. Oh, it's the same one I gave you. You know, those morning glories in the garden behind the mansion. They're called chosen morning glories and have 3 kinds of mental effects. In simple terms, it's a drug that makes people hallucinate. Once they are unconscious, they listen to what I tell them, and when they wake up, they don't remember a thing. Quite convenient, don't you think? Because I was educated to become Makihisa-sama's personal doctor, I know a lot about these sorts of things. With things like that, Shiki-sama went crazy at my convenience. After that, it was even easier. I secretly told Akiha-sama to look inside Makihisa-sama's room around midnight, and she finally found out about our relationship. Since then, Akiha-sama felt guilty and it became easier to do a lot of things. Well, I didn't expect her to protest against him right away though, but because Akiha-sama pressed the issue, I was released from Makihisa-sama soon after. I thought that I wouldn't be free until Shiki-sama killed Makihisa-sama, but I was freed 4 years earlier actually. From then on, I became a normal servant and traded places with Hisui, who became silent. Oh, but don't worry, since I was the one who took care of Shiki-sama and Makihisa-sama. Hisui-chan was always clean of everything. Smiling, she ends her story. I don't know what to say. Even if Makihisa was the main cause, the one who wished it to turn out this way and made it turn out this way was the girl before me. But Shiki-san, I didn't hate Akiha-sama or Shiki-sama. I didn't even want to do it. Those are my true feelings. How can she say that now? But there wasn't anything else I could do. Without a purpose like that, I couldn't live. A doll cannot move on its own. Without anything to guide it, it cannot move. But still, that is unforgivable. There wasn't anything I ever wished from my heart. But it's strange. Everyone seriously accepts what I say. Just the words of a 10-year-old child can manipulate their feelings. Aren't coincidences scary? Kohaku giggles. Are you satisfied, Kohaku? I don't know. I'm merely a doll that doesn't feel happiness or sadness. I thought she'd say that. Before me is a human that is a doll. A girl whose emotions were exhausted so long ago. Nothing remains. Telling herself that she is a doll that doesn't feel any pain. More than half of her really believes this. That's why injuries don't hurt her. Shiki and Akiha died, but she doesn't feel happy or sad. She's just an empty shell manipulated by strings. But there was just one strange thing. Really, just a little bit. She said that as her eyes trailed off into the distance. Akiha-sama protected me in the end. I knew there was a 50-50 chance she would do that. I stayed close to her for that reason. Revealing Makihisa-sama's abuse and devotedly helping Akiha-sama, who was slowly turning non-human. Yes, that's right. Really, I knew she would die protecting me. That smile. Even though she is smiling, she looks sad. As if she's... But I was really surprised at this time. Why is she protecting me? Why is she protecting me? Risking her life? She looks like she might burst into tears. I still don't actually understand if I was actually happy or sad when Akiha-sama died. But when I wake up in the morning, I take tea to her room even though I know she's gone. Isn't that strange? Even though there's no one in the room anymore. She takes something out. The sound of moving cloth. Holding something long wrapped in cloth, she aims for her chest. A shining blade reflects the sunlight. Ko! I run, but she is much faster. A small sound, and she collapses to the ground. She stabs herself and falls to the ground. Even though I ran, it's already too late. It has pierced her heart. My mind reels. Without reason. Why? I hold her in my arms. Fresh blood blossoms from her chest like a flower. Her smile still does not fade. On the contrary, it seems indescribably pitiful. Hang in there. Why? Why did you do that? Because revenge was the only thing I could do. I could only disappear when it's all over. I tried to find new springs, but I could never find one and time ran out. She smiles. That, for no reason at all. What the hell is that? What are you saying? I look at the wound like I did to Akiha. She won't make it. It has pierced her heart. Why? There was no reason. I just can't bear the sadness. She's looking up to the blue sky with thinned eyes. Under the tree in the courtyard. 8 years ago, I was leaving this mansion. The place where the girl who was just looking out the window gave me a ribbon as a present. This is where we promised to meet again under the big tree. That ribbon, it was my favorite. She speaks lightly. That's why I asked you to return it if we met again. But you didn't keep your promise, Shiki-san. But that... I was mistaken and thought it was Hisui's. I made a little bet with myself that if that boy noticed that I switched places with Hisui-chan, then I would quit everything. What is that? Are you trying to make me responsible for it at the end? As I shout, my hand desperately tries to stop her bleeding, but death truly is miserable. Ruthless and accurate, without even a delay in the failure of a single second. The clock of her life counts down to 0. Damn it, don't be ridiculous. What the hell do you mean you made a bet? Because of you, Akiha was... I frantically try to stop the bleeding. Sad, without a reason, the tears flow from my eyes. Huh? You're crying, Shiki-san. Well, excuse me. Damn it. I know it's your fault, damn it, so why do I... That's right. Kohaku, I still don't want you to die, damn it. Tears flow down. She smiles again. Shiki-san, you are too kind. But please don't worry about it. I'm just a doll, so I don't feel pain or fear. Then again, why do you... But it is much easier this way. Being a human, everything is painful and it hurts too much. But no one saved me, I couldn't escape. She exhales slightly. She closes her eyes and remembers. I just remembered something. It was when I was a child. I was scared and hurt, but more scared of dying. Tonomaki Hisa was huge, like a demon out of a storybook. The mansion was too big, like a haunted house. Every day was cold, and it was my daily routine to cry and scream. But if I raised my voice, it got worse, so I had to endure it all. But my sister was playing outside. She was laughing under the sun by easily jumping out of the window of the haunted house, where I could not go out, no matter how much I wished for it. Come to think of it, everything was sad. That's why I wanted to become a doll that didn't feel pain. The bleeding doesn't stop. With her eyes still closed, she remembers the childhood filled only with pain. I don't like pain. That's why I thought it would be better to become a doll. Haku? And gradually, my body stopped generating a pulse. Blood vessels turned into tubes one by one, and blood vanished like vapor. My heart, everything, just crafted parts. If I did that, there would be no pain, right? What? I can't say anything. A girl who thought she was a doll. A girl who couldn't live without thinking that she was a doll. Kohaku had no other means of salvation but to maintain an illusion that she really was a doll. That's why, even if you are this kind, there's no need for tears. It's just a doll breaking. Kohaku still keeps her eyes closed. No, that is wrong. I grasp her hand and shake my head in refusal. No. Kohaku, you are human. You can't be a doll. Kohaku, you're alive. You're a living human being. As proof, you're bleeding red blood right now. That's right. She laughs. Right? You're a normal human girl who liked Akiha, who was always worried about Hisui and laughed when we talked about those stupid things. So, even if she wished it, and caused the death of Akiha and Shiki, Kohaku, there was no reason for you to die. Increasing my grip, I say these words from the bottom of my heart. Shiki-san, you are just the boy I thought you would be. I finally got to speak to you. Her heartbeat surges like it is a grand finale. Her chest rises and falls. Her closed eyes open. And at the very end, she looks at the deep, distant blue sky. I see. I guess it was only an illusion after all. She coughs up blood. It hurts, she whispers softly. That's why I wanted to be a doll. Then, she passes away. The hollow eyes endlessly look into the blue sky. Not a fake smile, but a quiet and very sad face. Leaving my room, I head towards the gate. After a quiet meal together, we leave the garden behind. Please be careful, Shiki-sama. It has become cold recently, so do not strain yourself. Yeah, don't strain yourself either, Hisui. Taking my bag from Hisui, I turn back to the mansion. The road is long, as if it goes on forever. Then gently sloping road and the blue sky that might suck me in. I see an illusion. The road, like a ladder, heading to the sky, trying to reach the clear blue sky. I see that, and for no reason, I remember that sorrowful affair. Hisui. Yes? What is it, Shiki-sama? Tomorrow is the start of winter break, right? I'll come straight home, so how about we go to town? I have something I want to talk about, too. Huh? To town? Yeah. Once it is winter vacation, let's take a trip somewhere. Well, I don't know where yet, so I was thinking of letting you decide. Hisui stands there in silence. That's right. Hisui doesn't leave the mansion for herself. Kohaku-san was always the one to take care of things outside, so Hisui never left for 8 years. It isn't that I don't like that fact. Only, it's just that I wanted to go somewhere new with Hisui, and wanted to increase our fun memories so we won't lose against all that sad memories. What do you think? If you don't want to, I don't mind either way. No, if I get to be with you, it would make me very happy. We'll look forward to it. I see. Then I'll be back before noon. Please be waiting in some regular clothes. Then we'll figure out what to do. And maybe a terrible guy might come along too, but we'll deal with it if it happens. Hisui tilts her head questioningly, but agrees. When I go to school, I will end up asking for suggestions from Arihiko, but considering him, he'll want to come along. Well, that's that. I can ask his sister to come along too, and going with a lot of people might not be too bad either. Well, I'm off. Thanks for sending me off, Hisui. Saying that, I run down the hill. The road is long and continues into the town. I run under the clear blue sky and feel the warmth of Hisui's gaze on my back. And I see him off. This daily task done, I close the gate. The only one left in the mansion is me. Nissan and Akiha-sama are no longer here, and it seems that no new servants or masters will be coming. His sister left him this mansion and some money. Since the money that is used to maintain this place will be paid by the members of the Branch Tono family, it seems that we will not have to leave here anytime soon. Once vacation starts, do you want to take a trip? I decided to nod to those words. Ever since that day, I forbade myself from leaving this mansion. Ever since I found out Makihisa-sama was using Nissan like that in my place, I hated going outside. Isn't it natural? Nissan did do that, so I would stay clean. So I had to stay clean no matter what. I would not let any male touch me. I would never touch the fingers of the gender that used to use my sister like that. I thought it would be better if I was just like a machine. If I went outside, I would get dirty, so I would be better if I stayed inside. If I locked myself away in the sterile mansion, I would never become dirty. Because Nissan protected me. I thought the only thing I could do was become like a doll, staying pretty forever. But I will end that, will I not? I am thinking of going outside, Nissan. Once it gets close to noon, I change my clothes. It has been years since I last wore my own clothes. Pushing my hands through the sleeves, I am amazed at how light it is. That maid uniform I got used to so much, compared to these light regular clothes, is really heavy. Ah. A wind blows. The hair ribbon that was in my hand flies off. It is white. It was a lone memory that a girl gave to him a long time ago. The ribbon flies up and up. Riding the wind, as if it was never there before, it vanishes into the forest. Wait, that was... I try to chase after it, and I stop. That was the girl's ribbon. It is not mine, so I guess I have to at least give it back to her. In my hand, I hold a promise. That awaited promise of the girl who gave that ribbon still lives inside of me. So, just that ribbon at least. I think if I tried to return to the place that the girl dreamed of. Promises are fulfilled. If he thought I was that girl, then I will have to fulfill her dream. Like how I love him. That girl had to have always loved him too. Come to think of it, we really were sisters alike each other. Nissan and I traded places, but Nissan really did a perfect job of acting out my part. That carefree smile, those straightforward emotions, and that fleeting expression of love with him, those were all real. Even though it was just an elaborate play, Nissan really did love him when she played my role. She played my part perfectly, and she loved him from the bottom of her heart. Long ago, as if watching a dream that girl always wished and waited for. That's why, Nissan. That's why I have to return to myself. I don't think I can do it right away, but I can do it gradually. Maybe I won't be able to behave exactly as I was back then, but with all my strength I must fulfill her dream as I am right now. After the boy left, Nissan acted like me because she wanted to do that. Her dream was always to be Hisui and to love Tonoshiki, so I will grant her dream. For the sake of my childhood dream, and for Nissan's dream, I will always, always be by his side. Ah, I hear the noisy voices in the distance. It seems like he has returned, but it is noisy. He is not alone, but it looks like he brought some friends. A voice calls my name. Checking myself in the reflection off a window, I hurry to the entrance. The sky, the infinite deep blue sky. Hisui greets the long-awaited boy, takes delight in such normal things, and returns a smile. That is something that will continue tirelessly, day after day. The long-awaited peaceful world. I have been waiting for it for so long. Always believing that one day I would be flying free. I always stood by the window, looking up at the deep sky. that one day wings would sprout from this world, and wings would sprout from this back, and I will smile like Nissan and that boy. That is what the little girl, so long ago, dreamed of. Fuck, I don't know. That was such like a powerful ending, but I don't know. Fuck, man. You want to talk about making me feel like shit? Like shit? I got to see in real time all the choices I made wrong or all the bad things that were happening, but being too scared to just say it fully and having all reciprocated back. Fuck, that hurt. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out, because there's definitely another ending out of that, and that felt... It felt neutral, but it felt good as well.
Live Arc Mahir is right. There is another ending. This epilogue concludes the true ending. Akiha and Kohaku are both gone, with the surviving Shiki and Hisui living together in the end. To get the good ending, you had to have played through the true ending first. Then go back to chapter 13 and play up to meeting Akiha in the school. There, when Kohaku calls out to Shiki, a choice is given: to call out Akiha's name or to call out Kohaku's name.
Okay, well, what happens if I call out Kohaku's name?
Yeah! Shiki lunges with a cry. His black shape explodes like a firework. I can't make it from here. If there's anything that would make it, that would be... Damn! Akiha turns towards Shiki. Akiha instantly prepares for his attack, but the black figure isn't moving towards Akiha. Shiki lunges not at Akiha, but at Kohaku, who stands next to her. He knows. Just like I am able to move right now because of Hisui's power, he knows that Akiha's overwhelming power is possible from Kohaku-san's help. Kohaku-san, get down! I shout. Like if I knew Shiki was going for Kohaku all along, I shout from the bottom of my lungs. Kohaku! Akiha throws her body in front of Kohaku. I don't believe it. Is she sacrificing her body to protect Kohaku-san? Yeah! Shiki raises his voice, and with his arm thrusting like a spear, aims for Kohaku-san's face. Akiha forces herself in between them. Her timing is perfect. I don't want to look. I don't want to see Akiha die as she protects Kohaku-san. No! Right before it all happens, I hear a voice which I've never heard before. Kohaku-san's crying voice. The sound of rending flesh. Red blood drips down into the hallway. Kohaku-san's voice almost sounds absent-minded. She has quickly pushed Akiha away. She pushed Akiha trying to protect her and threw herself in front of Shiki's claws. You! Shiki's voice quivers with anger. Red blood continues to flow forth. No! Akiha! I didn't mean to hurt you. He shakes his head. In front of Shiki, Akiha lies collapsed, her arm coated with blood. Thanks to Kohaku-san's pushing her away, it seems only Akiha's arm was shredded by Shiki's claws. Gah! Lying on the ground, Akiha writhes in agony, clutching her arm. Shiki stands dumbstruck, shaking as he looks down. Kohaku-san, fixated with surprise, stands there unmoving like a doll. You bitch! Why are you trying to get in my way? Shiki lifts his head. Kohaku-san is right in front of him. Why is it? She's just standing there, not moving a muscle, as if her soul had fled her body. You also get in my way? Shiki howls. Shiki-sama! Hisui's pleading voice. She doesn't even have to tell me. Like Kohaku-san protecting Akiha, this time I'll stop him for sure. Shiki! I run, my glasses already off. The lines I see are across his neck and from his upper left chest to his stomach. Either one will do. If I work my knife through either one, it will surely kill him. Gripping my knife firmly, I fly down the hallway with a speed that surprises even myself. Shiki turns towards me, but I'm much faster. His anguished cry reverberates through the hallway. An insane laugh. It was too shallow. How naive. In front of Akiha, I hesitated in cutting her real brother's neck. The line that runs through his body, I was only able to cut it halfway. Laughing wildly, Shiki pulls back. Like that, he escapes towards the stairs. Following him would be easy, but there's something more important for me to do. Akiha! Hang in there, Akiha! Kneeling down, I look over her body. This is terrible. Her right arm is almost split in two and painted an awful crimson. Nissan, why are you here? Her eyes are hazy, her shallow breathing, her pale face. The figure of death stretches across her body.
Why aren't you resting in your room? Don't talk. We can talk about it later. For now, just don't talk. No, I won't. Nissan, how long have you been here? It's spreading. With her bleeding, her lines of death spread across her body. It's all right, just be quiet. Please, I beg of you, just for now, please, just calm down, please. Okay, if you say so, then I will be obedient, Nissan. With a forced smile, Akiha closes her mouth. Know that? Simply put, she's so weak she can't even speak. No! Wait, I'll stop the bleeding. Taking off my shirt, I wrap it around her arm. Damn, this is useless. Shit! If the bleeding doesn't stop, she'll die. Why doesn't... I frantically tie it around her arm. I know that it will not help her at all, but I can't think of anything else to do. I know I'm starting to go crazy, but I still cannot calm myself. Shiki-sama, please calm down. If you tie together any tighter, it will not help her. Hisui, but... It's all right. Akiha-sama will not die. If Nissan is here, Akiha-sama will heal. Nissan, is that not right? Hisui pulls Kohaku-san, who's still standing like a motionless doll, and sits her next to Akiha. Nissan, for now, please synchronize with Akiha-sama. You destroyed everything because you wanted Akiha-sama saved, is that not right? Hisui wraps both of her hands around Kohaku-san's white hand, but Kohaku-san's gaze is still empty. But maybe Hisui's words reach her after all. Akiha's blood stops spilling forth. I relax. With this, I can be assured. The uneasiness that gripped me before, the uneasiness that Akiha would meet the worst fate starts to gradually disappear. Akiha will be helped by Hisui and Kohaku-san. So, as Tono Shiki, I will have to end this. Hisui, I leave Akiha and Kohaku-san up to you. Shiki-sama, are you still planning to go, are you not? We are the same type, he and I. The least I can do is put him to rest. Hisui wordlessly stares at me. Her eyes beg me not to go, but I can't listen to them. Thanks for everything up until now, Hisui. I'm so glad you were with me. I walk away. Feeling her watch me as I leave, I follow Shiki. Shiki follows a trail of blood to find the other Shiki, who just stands in the hallway. His body is too wounded to move, so he just stands and wonders aloud why his plans always fail, and why Kohaku intervened. Our Shiki, meanwhile, realizes that his opponent seemingly can't see, his eyes only appearing hollow. Asking if he's in pain, the wounded Shiki can only laugh, and prepares to fight. With one last yell about killing everyone, he lunges to kill. All our Shiki can do is view him with pity, as he readies his knife. Calmly, he easily kills the bestial Shiki. Thud. Shiki's head falls on the floor. His powerless body falls against mine. I don't feel anything. I don't feel regret, pain, hatred, or disgust. Like Kohaku-san was earlier, I just stand like a doll. An unbelievable laughing voice. Shiki's laughing head rolls on the ground. You're wonderful. This is the first time I felt this cold pain. What a superb hinderer you are. Still laughing, his face dissolves into ash. Gradually, it disappears into the wind. Shiki is disappearing. Before he does, he looks up at me and curiously says, So who are you anyway? Huh? Who are you? You don't know? I'm Tono Shiki. You were always targeting. Ah, I see. You're Shiki. His disappearing face. What's this? You look nothing like what I heard. With that, he completely disappears. It's over. With this, it's over. I don't feel anything. I won't feel those splitting headaches. I can return to life as normal, but I don't feel happy. And? Just what ended? Why? I feel dizzy. Shiki's last words won't fade. Something did end, but I don't know what ended, or in the beginning what I was trying to end. I look up at the moon. In the vague darkness, my heart is enthralled. Until Hisui came, I just stood in dumb amazement, standing in the moonlight. We somewhat anticlimactically conclude Chapter 13. With Shiki dead and everyone alive, we proceed with the epilogue, Dreams of Sunshine. The next week passed quickly. Shiki's body vanished without a trace and the wound in Akiha's arm was treated. Even though my place as Tono Shiki became vague, I can't go back to being Naniya Shiki. I don't know if she understands my feelings or not about it, but Akiha hasn't said one word about that night. If Akiha, the head of the household, is going to play dumb, then I think I can continue my life as Tono Shiki. The peaceful days have returned. Since Shiki disappeared, all my strength returned and Akiha is healing well too. Kohaku-san and Misui go back to their regular duties at the mansion and there isn't a trace of uneasiness. I want to believe that there isn't. Nissan? It's noon already, Nissan. I hear a voice. Geez, even though it's not so nice outside, please do not sleep in such a place. If you want to take a nap, do so in your room. Fingers tap my shoulder. Ugh. With that, I wake from my dream. Morning, Akiha. Don't say morning. Coming to the sitting room only to sleep. Just what were you thinking, Nissan? Well, I was thinking about this and that. Giving a deep sigh, I get up from the sofa. Wait a minute, Nissan. Are you going to actually go to sleep in your room? Hey, don't you think you should actually do something worthwhile on your day off? To give you examples, like going out to deepen bonds with family members or invite them to have fun out of gratitude. I think what Akiha says is worthwhile is very limited. Well, I do think so. It's just that what you think is worthwhile is different from what I think is worthwhile. Sleeping twice would just be a waste. The reason why I want to go to my room is simple. It takes a lot of effort to face you right away, right after waking up, so I thought I'd refresh my head in my room. What is that supposed to mean, Nissan? Nothing, I just can't answer to your little scolding when my head's still dozy. So I'm just going to my territory to regroup, that's all. We can talk more during lunch. Waving, I turn away. Akiha watches me silently, but her face tells me she wants to complain. It looks like I will have to be ready during lunchtime. During dinner time. Now in his room, Shiki laments the room's dullness. With winter coming, he thinks about getting some kind of room heater. He then notices a letter placed on his desk, and having not seen it before, he opens it. Its single sentence reads, "I am waiting underneath that tree." Shiki can only let out a "why" as he grabs his knife from the drawer and leaves the room. On his way, he realizes how convenient a lot of circumstances were for the two Shikis to meet when they did. Someone had to have been plotting for it to end as it did, and with this thought, he arrives at his destination. When I get there, she is waiting with her usual smile. You're late, Shiki-san. I've been waiting since morning, but it's noon already. Yeah, sorry. I fell asleep in the sitting room and just got back to my room. Ah, I see. I messed up. I knew I should have told you directly. That may be true, I nod. She smiles at me. But it's good you came. Now we can talk, just the two of us. She smiles happily. With a smile on her face, she begins to speak like it's nothing. You realized it, didn't you, Shiki-san? I can't nod or shake my head. I knew it, she laughs. Shiki-san, I was the one who made Shiki-sama like that. I gave Akiha-sama my blood so that she would turn more into one of the Tono blood. But I was the one that gave Shiki-sama wrong information and made him attack innocent people. I didn't want to hear her say it. When we were small, the one who was always watching from the distance wasn't Hisui, it was me. Kohaku-san, back then, I intentionally distracted Akiha-sama so that Shiki-sama could have an opening. Kohaku, but I really messed up. Akiha-sama and Shiki-sama were both supposed to die there. Kohaku! Looking down, all I could do was shout her. It's fine. Shiki-san? It's fine. All of it is over, so I don't want to hear that kind of story. Those words are truly how I feel. Such a reality. It is better if I don't realize it. Kohaku-san can just be Kohaku-san. Always smiling, thinking of Hisui dearly, being such good friends with Akiha and laughing when we talk about stupid things. I wanted Kohaku-san to stay like that. I don't care about all that. You can just be here, and it'll be fine. She doesn't answer. A long, painful silence. No, that won't do, Shiki-san. What I did can't be ignored like that. I failed. I have lost the reason that moved me these past years. So this Kohaku will just disappear. What? I lift my head. Over there. She looks like she always does. But I thought you had the right to blame me. You are the only one who is not connected with the Tono house. I used you in my plot against Akiha-sama and Shiki-sama. So if you wish to blame me, you can do whatever you like. The right. No one has the right to blame you, Kohaku-san. That's right. Ever since she was a small child and came to this mansion, she had to receive all the crimes of Tono Makihisa. She could not ask for help. Nobody helped her. If she lived that life for years, then that's If you want to talk about rights, you had every right to take that revenge. I can only imagine what happened to you, but you only could hold nothing but a grudge against the Tono family. I know that I'm just sounding clever, but I say those unsatisfactory lies. No, I didn't have a grudge against Makihisa-sama or Hakiha-sama at all. So what I did wasn't revenge. I just thought that was what a human would have done. Only for my sake, I put Makihisa-sama and Shiki-sama in a trap, and tried to get Akiha-sama dead too. That was all I had. There really weren't any feelings behind it. Her smile does not fade, but that's a lie. If that's true, then I would have hated her from the bottom of my heart. No, that's wrong. Kohaku-san, you just want to think like that. If that was true, then why did you protect Akiha? Kohaku-san, you had emotions. You liked Akiha, so you destroyed your own plan yourself. Oh, this is a different face. For just an instant, she lowers her glance just a little bit and smiles again. That's right. I destroyed my own plan. Really, Shiki-sama should have killed me back then. I made it so that only one of us would stay alive after that. But why did we both end up surviving? She seemed troubled as she says this, and her smile returns. That's simple. It's because you wanted Akiha to live, and you wanted to stay alive too. Then, everything's alright. Even though you planned it all, I'm happy. Akiha's still alive and you're still alive, and that makes me really happy. Is that not enough for you, Kohaku-san? Tears come out as I say so. I can't stop my feelings, which are more full of regret than pity. I already understand that this person will not return. Since then, from the time she protected Akiha, she became broken and couldn't come back. I understand that too well. Shiki-san, are you crying? That's stupid. Crying over a doll and a play that broke. Yes, it really is stupid. Hey, Shiki-san. I said that I didn't hate anyone, but there is one person I hate. You understand, right? I think I hated you. Because if you weren't there, I could have just stared out the window without even thinking. Smiling, she turns away. Her sleeves flutter like a butterfly wings. My legs want to dash forward, but I can't move. Even one step. I feel that if I move one step towards her, something will happen that I can't take back. You are the only one I hated. Everyone else I neither liked nor hated. I lost those emotions. So, saving Akiha-sama was only an accident. Her figure starts to become hazy. Kohaku-san, I had a bad feeling about this. I can't place it, but I have a terrible feeling. Then, Nissan! A voice calling for her echoes through the air. Hisui? Hisui-chan? Our voices overlap. Gasping for a breath, Hisui looks directly at her. Hisui-chan, why? Her voice is shaking. Taking it, she looks sharply at her. Lies! With a short, strong voice, Hisui says so. Everything you say are lies, Nissan. You saved Akiha-sama back there because you like her, and I know you can't hate Shiki-sama. I hear a sharp gasp. Still turned around, she looks extremely frightened. Is that not right? You played my role, so you cannot hate Shiki-sama. You played the role of Hisui from back then, so you loved Shiki-sama and tried to protect Akiha-sama. You are not an empty human like you think you are. Hisui's voice hangs in the air. Kohaku doesn't turn back, and Jinsa answers, No. Jeez, if you had never slept in the sitting room, then Hisui-chan would have never noticed us. Shiki-san, you really do throw all my plans into disarray. Still facing the other way, she laughs. She holds up a finger to her mouth. Gulp. I hear the sound of something being swallowed. I run, but I don't make it in time. Before I can reach her, she collapses to the ground, coughing up blood. Thud. A hard, sickening noise. Still smiling, she drips red blood from her mouth. Nissan! Hisui holds her, but that, no matter who looks at it, it is already too late. Nissan! 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 Cradling the unmoving girl's head, Hisui frantically calls out. It seems her feelings overflow like the blood pouring from Kohaku's mouth. Her mouth opens and closes over and over. Nissan! Nissan, hold on!
A desperate cry. Seeing that, the girl smiles like a child.
Huh? Don't do that, Hisui-chan. Crying like that, it feels like back then. What? Nissan? Why? Yeah, because if I don't do so, you won't be able to return to the way you were.
Her words in pieces, and with glazed eyes, she speaks to Hisui.
Nissan.
Hisui's face contorts in grief. Her tears flood her face.
Why? That's fine. I was okay the way I was. If you were happy, then I was happy. I was always protected by you, so I was always happy.
Painfully, she swallows her last words.
Why? You should have said like Hisui, Nissan. Like Hisui, the one you admired so long ago. So why are you returning it to me now?
A tear falls. Maybe Hisui's tears caused that. She nods quietly.
That's right. I really had fun. It was all just an act, but it was really fun, Hisui-chan. So I hoped, Hisui-chan, you were having fun too.
Her blood drips out. As she speaks, blood dribbles out of her mouth.
Nissan, hang on, Nissan. This can't be. Why? Why do you have to die, Nissan?
There is no reason for you to die, Nissan. Hisui's voice can no longer reach her. Her chest rising and falling. She just looks up at the deep, deep blue sky.
It's pretty. I could never go outside, but I always remembered the color of the sky. Nissan! Just those little things were my days. Hisui-chan, Shiki-san, and Akiha-sama were there. And there was such a pretty sky overhead. Yeah, I can't remember it too well. Those fun things are starting to disappear.
Her energy drains. The remaining light in her eyes is disappearing. That, I could not let it be. I take out my knife. My glasses are already off. All that is left.
Shiki-sama, what are you?
Hisui holds on to me. I'm going to save Kohaku-san. Please be quiet and trust me. I pull free and look hard at her body. Just like the time with Yumizuka. That time, I found Yumizuka's polluted blood and killed it, so I should be able to kill the poison she drank. Gah! The headache gets worse. It feels like someone is stabbing my skull with a knife. It's so bad I want to close my eyes. I guess looking at something wrong in someone else's body is difficult. The pain warns me that this is surpassing the limits of my ability. My breathing explodes into harsh gasping. Bubbles escape from my open mouth. My entire world is red. As if all my bodily fluids turn into poison, my body is burning from the inside. Yeah, but still. I stare at it, not caring if I go blind. My senses disassociate. My world becomes a white sheet. As the sound of my blood vessels burning away roars in my ears, I quickly, before I am unable to move, find the poison in her body and kill it. The first scenery I've seen in a few days is this white examination room. All set. It seems like you are fine, Shiki-kun. I do not see any cloudiness and your condition should not return. You can go back to your normal life now. Doctor continues scribbling away, as he's done these past few days. His face, which I see for the first time, looks somewhat kind. Well then, take care. Yeah, but don't strain yourself for a while. You always seem to push yourself too hard. I understand. Thank you so much for your help. I bow with heartfelt thanks, and I stand up from the chair. I go out into the hallway. In the waiting room is Hisui. Not having seen her face in days, I wave to her excitedly. Hisui quickly runs to my side to support me. Well then, shall we go? We can meet Kohaku-san starting today, right? Hisui nods.
Shiki-sama, is your body really okay?
Hisui looks up at me, full of worry. Hey, a doctor is a person who can't let unhealed people go free. If I get to leave the hospital, that means I'm fine. I'm used to being in hospitals, so trust me.
Yes, that is why I worry. There never was an instant where you would come back from the hospital fully healed. I was about to say, that is a completely apt statement by Hisui. Hisui really talks a lot now. Well, that's the truth, so I can't disagree. Anyway, I finally got those bandages off my eyes. I can see your face and my body is healed, so there's no more problems. Come on, let's go see Kohaku-san. Pulling Hisui, who's still wanting to say something, I walked towards Kohaku-san's room. After seeing me plunge my knife into Kohaku-san, Hisui panicked. But after seeing that Kohaku-san's body was not harmed, that her breathing returned after that, and seeing me collapsing, Hisui ran to save all of us, even though she was still in a panic. As a result, Kohaku-san was saved. I fell into a condition where my eyes would not function in addition to the decrease in my physical body strength. Well, I somehow understood that I went blind. When I stabbed my knife into her body, the only thing I was able to see were those lines. So when I was told I went blind, it didn't shock me that much. But then, my sight came back shortly after. The examination revealed absolutely nothing wrong with my eyes, but only problems with my nerves. Rather than my cut nerves connecting themselves, it seemed that it's more like the nerves which were numb healed up. It seems like my eyes will not go blind that easily. Or, it might be that even if I do go blind, I'll still see those lines. Well, those are trivial matters. The important fact is that Kohaku-san and I were saved. But Kohaku-san wasn't fully saved. She was able to recover, but, in turn, she lost something. Shiki-sama. Yeah, go ahead. I think it's probably better if you went in first. After answering yes, she knocks on the door. A voice tells us to come in, and we enter the room. Kohaku-san is the only one in the room. She sits up in the bed and looks at Hisui and I. Kohaku-san isn't smiling. With uneasy eyes, she looks at her guests. May I please ask who you are? With those words, Hisui's shoulders shake a bit. We have come to see how you are doing. Please excuse us, Nissan. Kohaku-san looks at Hisui with surprised eyes after she hears the word Nissan. Hisui sits down next to Kohaku-san. I don't want to be in the way, so I sit down on a chair by the wall. Kohaku-san looks uneasily back and forth between Hisui's face and mine. I am sorry. It's a bit strange. I feel I do know both of you, but I cannot remember either of you. Her voice sounds very apologetic. This isn't a joke or anything, as she really does mean these words. There is some problem with her memory. I think I was told so before by Hisui. Kohaku-san it was no longer the Kohaku-san from before. No, that's not quite right. The system of the brain can be divided into 4 functions: recording, preserving, playback, and recognition. And it seems that Kohaku-san has something wrong with her preserving function. The doctor said that she can return to her normal lifestyle, but she can't remember most of her past. It isn't so much that she can't remember, rather, it is more like she lost it. The preservation of her memories up until now, all that information was lost, so there is nothing to remember. So Kohaku-san cannot remember me or Hisui. Having Kohaku-san return to the way she was before really is a hopeless dream. I don't know if it was a near-fatal shock from the poison, or if Kohaku-san closed it off herself. But I know that the Kohaku-san has the body and heart she had before, but she has forgotten all about me, Hisui, and Akiha. Kohaku-san looks up at Hisui. Yes, Hisui answers, and Kohaku-san hesitantly starts to speak. Your face is the same as mine. Might I ask who you are? Hisui's body freezes, but that is just for an instant. With a light smile, Hisui holds Kohaku-san's hand. I am your little sister, Hisui. Hisui-chan? She manages to let this response out. That is probably the most cruel response she could have given. But Hisui still smiles gently and answers, Yes. I am so sorry, I do not remember anything about you, Hisui-chan, or that person over there. I'm a little scared. I don't remember anything about you, Hisui-chan. Maybe there must be something wrong with me. Downcast, Kohaku-san looks like a lost child. Her face clouds over and her eyes are uneasy. She is not like Kohaku-san. But still, Hisui grips her hand tightly. No, do not worry, Nissan. No matter how uneasy you are, I will always be with you. Like how you always protected me, I will always protect you. I will always, always protect you from now on, Nissan. Kohaku-san's face is in pure bewilderment. After looking at Hisui in surprise, Kohaku-san thanks her. Uh, yes. Looking down in embarrassment, Hisui mumbles a response. Is there anything you need? Like something to eat or something you want? Kohaku-san says yes and nods with her eyes in response to Hisui's attempt to hide her shyness. There isn't anything I want to eat, but there is something I want. Can I ask you? Kohaku-san does not look just at Hisui, but looks at me sitting by the wall too. Yes, what is it, Nisan? I think I never liked the name Kohaku, so I want a new name. Name? I wonder why. When she says that, the only one name comes to me. That name has been discarded and only remains in memories. Shiki-sama. Hisui turns to me. Is she thinking of the same thing? She looks at me if she wants confirmation. I nod in response. Hisui turns back to Kohaku-san and asks, how does Nanaya sound? Nanaya. Kohaku-san murmurs, as if testing the sound. Right after, she lifts her face up as if she remembered something. Yes, I think I like the sound of that. It seems awfully nostalgic for some reason. Saying that, she smiles. Her usual smile that blossoms like a rose. Finally! For the first time since she's awakened, she smiles happily. The two of them talking looks perfectly natural. Naturally, the two of them peacefully pass the time as sisters. I don't know if her losing her memory was good or bad. Since all of her memories were painful, maybe it was a good thing that it happened. Because from now on, there will be nothing but happiness. Forgetting all the sorrowful incidents, she can earn a normal happiness. But, looking at this blue sky, I just can't help but think back. That young girl standing by the window. I know that the past for her is something to be forgotten about. But still, if I could, I wanted that Kohaku-san to become happy. But that is a wish that can no longer be granted. So I just have to end that wish right now. Underneath that longed-for blue sky. I imagine for the last time, her carefree smile, like a lingering flower. Shiki-sama, may I please have a moment? After we leave the hospital, Hisui suddenly asks me that question. Eh? Sure, what is it? Yes, we still have time, so there is somewhere I wish to go. Somewhere you wish to go? Not understanding, I tilt my head. Come on, let's go, Shiki-sama. Hisui pulls my hand forcefully and starts running. She takes me to a grassy plain outside the city. Autumn is ending and the sky is deep. The wind that blows through the flowers onto our faces seems to blow through our hearts. Hisui? Why did you want to come here? Who knows? To be honest, this really isn't a reason. It's just that when we were coming to the hospital, I saw this field from the train. Hisui says this trivially as she stands by my side. I don't get it. This is a nice place, but it doesn't seem that special. If you wanted to play, we should go to another... No, this is the right place to visit. I wanted to come not somewhere in the city, but somewhere quiet and beautiful, and it makes me feel positive. A place where you could return to your usual self. With a light smile, she looks up at me. My usual self? Hisui? Yes. Well, when you were in the hospital room, you looked so depressed. I understand how you feel, and I'm glad you feel that way. But that is not what Nisan wanted. Hisui reaches out. She lightly places her hands on mine. Is that not right? I think it is better if you cheer up. Hey, Shiki-sama. You may not have realized it, but you smell like sunshine. That is the Shiki-sama I like, and will always like. Her eyes look at me directly. Those eyes are really kind and optimistic. Hisui is the one that smells like sunshine. 8 years ago, it feels like we returned to that time when Akiha and I and her would run around the garden. Really? I think I'm the gloomy one if you ask me. You are just someone who does not start conversation that much. But to me, no, to us, you are like this open field. Her fingers move. I feel her squeeze me tighter. So there. Please don't make that face, Shiki-sama. Akiha-sama was saved, and even Nisan was saved. There's no reason for you to be sad. Nisan is still alive. Then I am sure she will return to the way she was someday, And even if not, I will make her many times happier. You do not have to have time to be sad, because we have to help Nissan and Akiha-sama be happier from now on. What she's saying is fairly preposterous, so I wonder why. After hearing those words, I feel a ray of light shining into my gloomy heart. That's right. I'm her big brother, though it's only natural to do such a thing. Hisui nods. Yeah, it might be hard, but we have to do it. Because I want them to be happy too. Yes, I know you can do it. Nodding strongly, she holds my hand against her chest. I can feel her heartbeat. The delicate warmth of her body serenely blows like the wind through the grass into my heart. Besides, if you do not cheer up, I would be very troubled. Why, I ask. Isui's cheeks flush, but she still looks directly at me. You are the only one who can make me happy. I want to always be near your side, always be near your sunshine. She stands on her tiptoes to kiss me. The sky is high. Underneath that sky, where there is no sadness, I receive the warmth, the one I love the most. From the field is the gentle smell of the sunshine. Yeah, Hisui's words are exactly right. We lost a lot, but we haven't lost everything. The days still go on into the future. Then, we have to go on and try our best to make everyone live happily. Thanks, Hisui. Holding her delicate body, I close my eyes. Tears flow from my cheeks, but there is no sadness. Life itself is fun enough. I've known that for a long time. Then, holding Hisui's hand, I'll walk on and have no regrets. End. And that concludes Hisui's good ending, as well as finishing her route. With Akiha and Kohaku still alive, even if the latter is unable to remember anything, it is still a more positive outcome. On a personal level, I appreciate both endings and how they both feel serious and emotional, despite their different outcomes. In contrast, the more anime-y and comedic ending of Ciel's good ending wasn't nearly as engaging as her true ending. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it, rather that it was nice getting to experience a different style of two endings here. Heading into Ciel-sensei's end of route section, it is explained that going to the first day, a new choice is awaiting that leads down the last route of Tsukihime. This route, being Kohaku's, is our last unlockable, and we are now left with 3 more routes to do, along with Akiha's and Arkwoods. Which one will we do next? Well, given the emotional shock of the various happenings and revelations in this last route, I felt that I had to see how things developed with this new information. So, next time, on Tsukihime, we will start Kohaku's route. See you then.